Let's take a look at our Submaster list. We can do that by either double hitting sub, or we could always add a tab, and that would allow us to get to the Submasters tab. When I open my Submasters tab, I get a lot of columns describing what each sub's properties are. You'll also notice my CIA changes to a lot of options for the subs that I'm working with. The first column in the sub list is the percentage column. This is really useful because this will show you what percentage level each sub is contributing. So if you have something on stage and you're not quite sure where it's coming from, it's quick and easy to pop in here and just glance down the list and see who's on. Just like other targets in EOS, we can label subs. So I'm going to say sub 1 label. I'm going to do front light. I can also edit subs from here, so I have an edit soft key. If I hit that, you'll notice it'll take me into my blind spreadsheet, and I can say 10 at full, and that's going to add that right into sub 1 for me. Let's go back into our sub list by hitting sub, and let's look at our mode. You'll notice that my mode options are additive, which is my default, inhibitive, and effect. Additive submasters will take the stored values and contribute them to the output of the stage. Inhibitive subs restrict live output and work as mini grandmasters for the contents of their sub. So to change that, with sub 1 still selected, I can say inhibitive. And the first thing you'll notice is that the sub background turns red to let me know that it's an inhib sub. And my motorized fader flew up to full. We home inhibitive subs at 100% so that they're not actually inhibiting any of their values. I'm going to pop back out into live really quick, and I'm going to go to Q1. And when that's complete, I'm going to go ahead and start pulling down my inhibitive sub. And you'll notice that any of the channels that are stored in sub 1 are going to get a little yellow eye next to their intensities, and that lets me know that those channels are being inhibited. And you can see that channels 2 and 8 are starting to come down in value. So I'm using these to just sort of grandmaster and inhibit the output that's being contributed by the Q. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that back up, and at the top of travel, my eyes will go away. Great, so I'm gonna go to Q out just to get a clean stage. And let's talk about a quick example, which is a front of house inhibitive sub. Sometimes if we have a show with a grand drape that will come in and out for curtain call, we may not know how many times the talent is going to want to bow that night. So we'll want to put an inhibitive sub on all of our front light so that we can pull the fader up and down as many times as the curtain comes up and down. So I'm going to say group 1 and group 5, full enter to bring up those channels. And I don't want to include my non-intensity parameters in this sub, so I'm going to say minus all NPs, which is in the top of your parameter tile area, record sub 3, label FOH inhib, and enter. And don't forget that you want to load that newly created sub to a fader. And with sub 3 still on the command line, you can touch properties and make it inhibitive. So now as I pull down that fader, it's going to inhibit all of my front of house fixtures.